episode of the MBA podcast, where each week we explore movies, books and albums, and the side streets and rabbit holes they lead us down. This week, we find out why Dave made us listen to the Flying Burrito Brothers' debut album, Gilded Palace of Sin. And we discover that Paddington in Peru not only has plot elements that remind Thorin of Nazi attempts to establish a Fourth Reich in South America, but that also trigger memories of the Cannibal Holocaust for Devon. And as always, we remind you that no matter what, you should never take us or the things that we say seriously. Enjoy the podcast.
I was watching Paddington and I was feeling a bit guilty for making us watch this movie. We could be spending that 2 hours watching like something we really wanted to watch while looking for a rabbit hole. And I was feeling kind of bad about it until I put on the Flying Burritos. And then all guilt about Paddington just really disappeared quite quickly. And then I was quite chuffed with my choice.
Yeah. Jeez, yeah. I mean, at least Paddington didn't make you suicidal. I mean, it was feel good at least. I mean, holy shit.
I was excited when it began. And then it began. Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, I think the name was the most exciting part. It got better. It got better though. Well, not really. The album still was shit.
I found on the third listen, it did kind of start to grow on you. I don't know if you kind of just followed.
You listened to it 3 times. No, I couldn't. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I did too. And now I've got that opening track in my head the whole time. What's it? Devil in Disguise, or whatever. Yeah. But I did listen to, and then I sort of, as it does, it sort of starts playlists, and some of their later stuff when Graham Parsons had offed himself, and some real musicians who are more than 24 years old came in. They actually improved their live. Some of their live stuff is really cool to listen to, even though it's
same band.
Great. Sorry,
same band.
The Flying Burrito Brothers are still playing today, Thors. We can go and see them play.
And how many of the original? How many of the original 1969 to 1970? That incredible run of a handful of months. How many of them are there?
I think 0.
Okay. I did chuckle because the drummer didn't even make the album because he couldn't finish recording because of substance issues.
Substance abuse. Yeah.
But if you go do a bit of research, they were actually quite like fundamental in like the transition from like country to to country rock, which you would never think listening to the music. I mean,
I got excited when I read that somewhere, but then I heard it and like all of the tracks sound like when David Kramer has a parody country track.
I think the live versions literally of some of the same songs, like Burrito 1 or whatever, it's a crap track. The lyrics, Hot Burrito, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not a lot of, but when you listen to it live, when they're playing it 20 years later, and it's live and the crowd's in the background and there's a bit more vibe to it.
Okay.
So I think, but Dev, you're right. I think it's probably, and I probably haven't listened to enough country before then, but it probably had the makings, or maybe it was just because Graham Parsons had come from the Byrds and he was a pop star type thing. So maybe then everyone thought, oh, fuck, it's a new way of doing country, but it was probably exactly the same. There was probably another country singer who'd done exactly that.
Yeah.
Except he wasn't Graham Parsons, a trust fund baby.
Well, exactly. And I think after the way that Graham Parsons OD'd and the whole saga behind the theft of his body to go cremate it, and the whole story behind why the stepdad wanted him to be buried in his hometown is just flipping chaos. I think it just added to their whole, like the whole cult following around it.
What was Thors? Did you see Dev tell Thors that story? Did you hear it, Thors? Did you read it?
Yeah. No, when his mates stole the body to go burn it in the desert.
Yeah.
That mate who stole the body, Kaufman.
Yes.
He was friends with Charles Manson, of the Charles Manson, the cult.
The family.
They were friends in jail together.
Yes.
So Graham Parsons and Manson never met, but Kaufman was friends with Manson. And I think he might have been the producer for Manson's album. I stand corrected.
Oh, wow.
It's not just a friend who went and stole your body and burnt you in the desert. it's a friend of Charles Manson who stole your body and burnt you in the desert. Which is just like,
and stole,
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And stole a hearse to steal your body.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like the body was in the hearse. I think they stole a hearse separately and then stole the body. So,
and it's wild.
Yeah, they went and posed as, whatever you call them, but went
Undertakers.
Undertakers with the hearse, and went and said, "Okay, listen, we're here to collect Graham Parsons' body." And they drove him to Joshua Tree because that was Graham Parsons' wish to be cremated at Joshua Tree. And these oaks were fucked on drugs and alcohol and absolutely flying through the Joshua Tree. Got there, poured on like a massive gallon of petrol onto this oak's onto his coffin, lit it up, and then started driving back, still absolutely inebriated and hammered on who knows what. And they got pulled over because they were speeding. And the cop and that
man.
And the cops obviously saw, I think everybody saw a massive fireball that just exploded like in the middle of Joshua Tree.
Glorious.
But wasn't there some wild story about the chick who gave him the morphine? He did 6 double shots of tequila because no one wanted to drink with him. So, and then he found some chick at the hotel and she took him to the room and gave him morphine. But there was some, was it Kaufman? How they were trying to revive him? Did you read that?
Yes. Yeah, with the ice block enema. Not enema, ice block suppository.
Yes, ice block suppositories. And then what else did they do to him to try and bring him back to life?
And a cold shower, just a cold shower. But was that like common knowledge in the 60s? I'll actually have to ask my mom. Did everybody in the 60s know that if your mate's ODing?
Yeah. We come home and take Timopridol after a rough night.
Yeah. Keep the ice
block enema.
It was a simpler time.
Why is there an ice bucket next to the bed? No reason, love. Roll over.
Man.
Just don't worry about it.
I know.
Like.
Oh God, So if nothing else, I tell you what, that album did lead me down some beautiful rabbit holes. But so I was going to show the one lyric that I enjoyed. There weren't many good lyrics I didn't find at all, but the one was it Christine's tune or something? Her number always turns up in your pocket whenever you're looking for a dime.
Yes, yes.
I kind of like that because we've all been through those stages where that number you just keep dialing that number.
I must go re-listen to that, Jaco, because that one that was like, okay, there's some poetry here.
Yeah, not a lot. There was one line out of the album that I listened to 3 times as well.
Nice.
Now, there's one or two other ones. I found one as well. I think it was called "End of the Street," and they say, "I know that time's going to take its toll. We'll have to pay for the love that we stole. Oh, it's a sin, and we know that we're wrong. Oh, but our love keeps coming on strong. You and me at the dark end of the street."
Oh.
That's quite a deep line, guys. The name of the album kind of alludes to this whole thing basically being about adultery and sins.
Gilded Palace of Sin.
Yeah. But still,
and they were 24 years old when they're writing this thing.
I can believe that.
Yeah, they were babies. Yeah, exactly.
Man.
So maybe we're expecting too much.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have looked up who they were before we dived into the album. At least we didn't have to go to a record store and buy the vinyl. And
sure.
That would make it more of an adventure. Yeah.
With your whole family sitting around waiting to listen to this new record you brought home. Gather around the gramophone, everyone.
Yeah. Dave says this is great.
Yeah.
Dave highly recommends this.
Oh, God. But I went on a bit of a dive and found, other than the death, which was beautiful. Did you read the story about Wild Horses, the Stones track?
No.
So the Stones had you guys might have heard about there was a famous festival, and I'd forgotten the name of it. I can't even read my writing now. Where the Hells Angels were the security.
Yes, and the Stones had arranged that. Yeah.
Yes, correct. And someone had died at the concert because it just broke into absolute chaos. But yeah, and I'd always heard about this Hells Angels security thing, and that was the Stones concert. And then the night of that, because it was during the day, the night of that, Graham Parsons was chilling with them, and they played him Wild Horses that Keith Richards had just written.
Oh, wow.
And then they asked Parsons to take it back and remix it. They gave him the master tapes. And apparently Jagger had screwed up he'd trashed all the rest of them because he only wanted the master tapes. He didn't want any bootlegs. Because I think it was quite an important one, because I think he had just died. Was it Brian Jones? Was he one of the original Stones?
I don't know. I'm ashamed to say.
Anyway, but Flying Burrito Brothers put out Wild Horses before the Stones did. It's about a year before they released it. They let them release it onto one of their mixed the albums that came out, like a greatest hits of out of a no-hit wonder band.
Oh, wow.
Did they cover it, or did they
write
their own one? Oh, wow.
No, they covered it with Graham Parsons singing lead, and he sounds, well, you read the reports and they say he sounds wasted, but he didn't sound that wasted. I mean, I can sing more wasted than that.
I did see Wild Horses there on the playlist, but I thought I shouldn't go overextend myself and listen to anything more than I needed to, and apart from the Gilded Palace.
No one does more homework than they really should.
But it was quite strange when you read about that relationship, because like they had a relationship, and obviously I didn't go super deep into it, but the fact that they're saying like they had this connection, but at the same time the Stones are playing like sold out stadiums.
Yeah,
they were playing nightclubs, and in that line they were playing pool halls, nightclubs, and hootenannies. Now I've never heard the word hootenanny outside of a Looney Tune cartoon, you know, that's what Bugs Bunny refers to, and Yosemite Sam, the hootenanny. And yeah, I haven't gone down that rabbit hole of what is a hootenanny. Maybe we can pick that somewhere for a future discussion of.
Okay, I can tell you about what it is now, but.
Oh, fantastic! Then we don't need to put it in the compost heap.
No, it's they basically say it's a party or a get together with an open mic. And then Joan Baez said the hootenanny is to folk singing what a jam session is to jazz.
Okay.
So,
interesting.
So it's a bit of a chaotic, everybody gets a turn on the stage, which is why Yosemite Sam would be like derogatory about it. Yeah. Who's in charge of this hootenanny? Okay. Nice.
So it's for folk singers. Folk singers sitting around stoned off their pips. Have you heard of another lyric I picked up, but this was on one of the other albums that I was listening to, and it was a Georgia Overdrive. I know, I went deep. This guy's singing about being a trucker, and he says, I've got 10 forward gears and a Georgia Overdrive. And he's been on the road 6 days. Do you know what a Georgia Overdrive is?
No.
It's when you're going downhill, like a student, when you used to put it into neutral going down a hill.
Okay. Is that Georgia Overdrive?
Georgia Overdrive. There we go.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Yeah. My mind was going to darker places.
Yeah.
No, they say the phrase came from their lyric, and apparently it's quite a well-known phrase in the South. The Georgia Overdrive. It's just freewheeling down the hill in neutral.
That would be a nice band name, though, as well.
There is a band called Georgia Overdrive.
Really? Is there a band called Georgia Overdrive?
Yeah, there is.
And tell me you've listened to all their albums too.
All of them. No, I didn't have that much time.
There's still some little gems in there. Like I did pull out some other lyrics. I can't remember what song this was from though, but it says, now you can take that dollar, get 4 cents on it, compounded quarterly at any downtown bank, so they can back some hot new tank or atom bomb.
Wow.
I did hear that.
I quite love that.
That's cool.
It's obviously coming across in a very honky-tonk country type thing that's not really hitting home. Mm-hmm. But they are trying to tackle a serious issue. And obviously in the 60s, there was obviously that big movement towards anti-war, anti-everything.
Vietnam.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's a thread to pull here because, and don't quote me on this, I'm pulling together some very disparate threads, but there's a whole conspiracy theory around how the hippie movement got taken over and maligned to become the slackers, no do-gooders, because the hippie movement was anti-war and was against the industrial military complex. So it was it was, what's the word, infiltrated and then subverted by the use of drugs. And this is where you've got all like MK Ultra, where Charles Manson pops up again, where he was working with the CIA, and they were doing the experiments on drugs with the population without people knowing. It's very tenuous at this point in time, but there's wheels within wheels.
You did a lot of Charles Manson reading, didn't you?
No, I didn't. It just kind of resonated. I think when you see the name Charles Manson pop up as a common connection to someone you're doing a dive on, it kind of, you do tend to kind of take note, yeah.
How far down that South America rabbit hole did you go on the Nazis, Thors? From Paddington and Peru.
More kind of wide. The overlaps in the story with that Paddington movie that started kind of harkening back to like conspiracy theories and history, where I was like, I'm sure it's not intended at all, but that doesn't matter. It's for the purpose of our conversation.
I don't even remember anything in the movie mentioning Germans, or where did you pick up?
Maybe let me just kind of throw some bones on the table, and okay. So when he was at Mr. Gruber's place, Mr. Gruber said, I've got a book on travel to Peru, ignore the chapter on Zeppelins. So I was like, cool, Zeppelins, love Zeppelins. I love an airship. Airships are fantastic. Watched it on, obviously the nuns were like a little bit dodgy. There was some suspicion there, etc. So anyway, I started going down my Zeppelin rabbit hole, and I was imagining I was going to do all this research. But anyway, so like as I started going there, it was like, well, like the Graf Zeppelin made 136 transatlantic crossings from Germany to South America. So these airships allowed you to travel from Germany to South America in 2 days as opposed to weeks. And it was luxury travel on every single note. And then the reason why it was important was because there was such a burgeoning German business and cultural influence in South America, which then starts leading on to the Hindenburg was actually the flagship of the Nazi propaganda campaign, and possibly its explosion was anti-Nazi terrorism when it landed in America. And the only reason why it blew up was because America had sanctions on selling Germany helium, so they had to use hydrogen, et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, while I was going quite happily down my innocent airship path, all these kind of twinges of these connections with South America and Germany, and some of those great hunting Hitler documentaries which speak about kind of the Fourth Reich's roots in South America. Yeah. So I was like, let me think and apply my mind more closely to what I've just watched. And then I was shocked, because what is the opening scene of the movie? I'm saying like a lecturer.
When he falls off the tree.
No,
when he's picking an orange.
He gets his
baby
passport.
Bear.
He gets his passport. And why this started twinging was because, like, when you look at, if you like just Google Paddington like history, it's like when Paddington started, he was like this symbol of the fugitive refugee in a strange country, but also like anti-racism, pro-tolerance, and it was like pointing a finger to intolerance and like fascist behavior, right? And now the movie starts, it's like, well, Paddington, here's your passport and papers. You are no longer that symbolic symbol of the hero of the refugee, because you are now English. You are naturalized. So you are no longer a symbol to the downtrodden masses. So like, okay, symbolically, symbolically he's become English through all the books because he loves marmalade and he tries really hard to be English. But now he's also officially English. Then he goes to visit Mr. Gruber. Okay. Mr. Gruber is a Hungarian, and the Hungarians were an Axis power, right? With the rest of our characters in the World War II story. Yeah. And he runs a rare antiquities shop, which is just like the museum man, every Indiana Jones, the Nazi interest with the occult. He's got the occult bear statues. And when he says, here's my travel book to Peru, but ignore the chapter on Zeppelins. Now, the only time Zeppelins would be in a travel book to Peru would be just before World War II, when the Nazis were growing and building this, and they were building their rat lines for escape. So why does he have a book to Peru from that time in history with that chapter? And then he says this one very disturbing thing after, and I had to write it down. So after the bear growls, the statue growls at Paddington, he says, he gets this faraway look in his eyes, and he says, things from my homeland speak to me all the time. Just like, too much, dude. It's like there. Okay, so there's Mr. Gruber is like tick.
Well, he didn't say the fatherland.
Well, maybe we
That's
put it into
positive.
the German translation or subtitles. We see what comes up. Then the home for retired bears. The bear is the symbol of Berlin, right? So there's the home for retired.
It is.
Yes.
I've got a Berlin
the home
bear.
of retired bears is there in Berlin. And then we meet the Reverend Mother, who we know is not a real Catholic, but pretended to be Catholic to get in, which is just how it was done back in the day. And she says, it's just my perfectly innocent secret control room. Okay. And so South America was full of clandestine Nazi intelligence centers. Then final thing is, for her punishment, she goes and becomes, and this is a rabbit hole we can go a lot further down. She gets like punished and has to go work for the retirement home for polar bears.
Yes.
Now there's a cultural phenomenon. Yes. I just found a 200-page book or 200-picture photo book of Germans and particularly Nazis liking to take photographs with somebody in a polar bear suit. It was a thing from the 1920s to the 1960s. It was a whole thing.
Cool.
So I don't know if you guys came across any of those things.
No, it's a little bit off what I was on. Dev, what did you find on Paddington?
So, not as much World War II stuff as Stasia, which I found fascinating though.
I'd be shocked if you did.
But what I still picked up on some pretty dark shit though. So I told you I
must have been sober.
And I was. Look, I wasn't sober on the weekend. I watched it after the weekend. So I was fighting some of my own demons there.
Coming down.
But I found one or two not so subtle hints towards cannibalism.
Okay.
So there's this one part when they've capsized their boat and they land on the side of the shore, and the daughter's doing a whole little vlog cast or whatever it is, recording things and everything like that. Makes a comment into her phone about who's going to be the first person to eat another person, and then it quickly moves on to something else, and it kind of, but like it lingered there for a second after it said it, and then it moved. So there's the first not so subtle hint, and I found that a little bit concerning. And then later on, when Cabo, Antonio Banderas, when he's or was his daughter, but they were telling the story of how their whole family's been obsessed with gold, and I think it was his father or grandfather that went to go find El Dorado, and he took a massive like a
army with him,
and brigade, and they all started dying. And there's a picture after that, all died, and he's walking, and he's holding something in his hand, and the daughter or the granddaughter, whatever, says he ate whatever he could to stay alive and keep going. I mean,
I missed
taken
that.
off the back that now his entire brigade has died.
Was this the Conquistador?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, exactly, the Conquistador.
So that also got me concerned.
Jeez.
Then there was maybe not so much cannibalism,
it's more.
But
there's more.
The grandfather's telling Antonio Banderas again to kill the bear.
Is there a mention of Charles Manson?
Yes.
I mean, very similar vibes. And then telling him to make bear stew.
Kill the bear, eat the bear.
Yeah. And then
that's a bear stew.
Of course, bears have been known to eat each other as well. So I mean, they themselves are cannibals. So I picked up that, which got me very concerned and interested. And then I remember when I was young, my mom telling me about this cannibal film that was basically considered a snuff film. And I couldn't remember what it was about. I went to go find out about it. And it's called the Cannibal Holocaust.
You got to love our family bedtime stories.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, Dev, so tell us that this sounds horrific.
About the Cannibal Holocaust.
Yeah.
So have you guys never heard of it?
Oh.
So it was filmed and distributed in 1980. So it's this horrific movie where there's murder, rape, cannibalism, and it was banned in a bunch of countries, and they were like, we're pretty sure because it was so horrific and real and brutal that they thought it was actually they were filming real stuff happening, real executions, real
Thought it
murders.
was a documentary.
Wow.
Yeah. We thought it was our news channel.
Yeah.
It was ENC News.
Yeah. And then I started watching the rest of
Just another day in KZN.
yeah, exactly. And then so that went down a very dark path, and then I carried on watching Paddington and found some lighter shades of gold.
The spiky red one.
Yeah.
Spiky. Geez, I definitely was zoned out when I watched that. I didn't pick up any of that.
And then what?
I didn't even see the picture of him with the Queen. Did you see that? Because the Queen makes it into.
I have fuzzy
Paddington.
memories.
So I think when they've got, that
Yes, from
link
the-
I
from
sent you
the
this
Jubilee.
morning with.
Yes.
Yeah. Good old Lizzie. I almost shed a tear this morning watching that again.
Mm-hmm. It
Poor old duck.
was quite good.
Yeah, got quite emotional
Yeah.
watching Lizzie again. Yeah. Yeah. Last time I saw her was at Royal Ascot. Laz was dressed in a pink suit with a white Panama hat. So I was doing my best to stay the hell away from him. And Lizzie went
wow,
past in her
awesome.
carriage.
I'm sure she recalls it with
Very
fondness.
I'm waiting for a posthumous autobiography to come out just to
sure.
see if she mentions me. The rugged alcoholic standing next to the flamer.
And then the pink shirt.
Speaking of pink shirts, sorry to just to jump into one other thing that I caught on to while watching it. There was one very subtle mention of the pink dolphin by Antonio Banderas' daughter
Yes.
in the movie.
Yeah.
that as
And
well.
went to go because I've heard about them before, and I'm sure I've read about them, but I went and delved a little deeper. And the legend is in Amazon behind the pink dolphin.
No.
No, you were saying that it's like a mermaid type
there's a
vibe.
myth or legend, whatever, that says that in the evening, that's the pink dolphin, the river dolphin, transforms into a man, hypnotizing, seducing, and impregnating unsuspecting women in the Amazon.
Wow.
He thinks that I think the chief spread this rumor.
Or the Navy SEALs have some explaining to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was the Navy SEALs.
You should have signed up for the Navy.
It's all
SEALs.
those frogmen looking for the escaped Nazi spies in South America. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. The commandos. Commandos have been
Yeah.
there for 65 years. They're so old now. Their wetsuits have gone pink from the sun,
This
but they're still virile. They've still got it.
happening upon unsuspecting village girls.
Village maidens.
Alas.
Did anybody find out who the first person was to get a Paddington gift? Paddington
No.
toy. Find this little one. So Jeremy
Yeah.
Clarkson's mother made a Paddington toy for him as a child in the 70s. And then Michael Bond, the creator of Paddington, gave her sole licensing around the world to
Wow.
create all the Paddington bears.
That's mad.
So Clarkson is not quite self-made.
Wow.
Oh.
So she had licenses. Every Paddington bear in the world was made
Did
by
she have a
Shirley
factory, or
Clarkson.
was it a taste
Well, her
neighborhood,
hubby
like
set up
a
a
home industry, or was she like into textiles and manufacturing?
I'm pretty sure it
Okay.
became factory. I think it must. Well, no, I think she did it.
Yeah.
She did it at home to start with,
Yeah,
and then she
and then
obviously
those were
set
the
up a
only
factory.
those were the only bears those children in the factory ever saw. At least they got to see a bear, I suppose. There is that, yeah.
There is that.
Yeah.
There is that, and not a cannibalistic bear
absolutely,
either.
yeah.
So yeah. They were lucky.
the lucky
They were
ones.
lucky. They were one of the lucky ones.
Very good.
Yeah. So there we go. Clarkson was the first kid to have the Paddington bear.
Sure.
Nice.
There we go. And I was trying to find links to. I wanted to see to tie it all together with the Flying Burrito Brothers,
Well,
but I couldn't
So
find
I-
any links
Charles
to
Manson.
Paddington Bear.
You
did.
Charles Manson's he's
Charles
in
Manson.
everything. I did pick up one, kind of inadvertently through
excellent.
Graham Parsons' mother, who made her wealth through orange groves, and
yes, marmalade.
Where they
Very
go
good.
find El Dorado, and everyone thinks it's
Oh,
gold.
a slow
and all it
clap.
was just this massive orange grove.
It is Graham Parsons' mother's
All
farm.
along.
Is El Dorado.
Oh, Devon, well done. Well done. It was right there.
Jeez.
No,
Right there.
All along.
maximum points.
So much better than my one where I googled Mick Jagger links to Paddington Bear, and AI came back saying Mick Jagger is not Paddington Bear. He is a musician, a performer. Paddington is a cartoon character. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, but we don't know. Have you ever seen Mick Jagger and Paddington together at the same time? Yeah. I didn't have enough time to check every single movement of theirs or every concert they've played, but there will be a Paddington link.
We will
somewhere.
find it. We'll put it in the compost heap. We can always come back and revisit.
Yeah.
You're going to see, like, in 3 years' time, we would have gone down this rabbit hole. There's going to be pictures on the wall, and Paddington is connected to every single one.
Red strings everywhere.
Yeah, like a murder board.
And it'll probably just be me by myself in the maid's quarters in the back garden, pretending I've got a podcast.
Yeah. All of us will be divorced. Our families would have disowned us.
Charles Manson, Fourth Reich. It's all here. Why can't you see it? Why can't you see it? Glorious future awaits us.
I know. I'm excited. I wanted to tell you one thing in that my Paddington's Guide of London. You see that book I sent you today? I just happened to pick that up from a client who's giving away a whole lot of books. But I read it through it again, and he only mentions 2 restaurants in the entire guidebook. One is the Ritz, and the other one is one in Regent's Park called the Humble Sausage.
No.
The Humble Sausage. No, wait.
The
Honest Sausage.
Okay.
Honest Sausage. Honest Sausage. So only 2 restaurants that Paddington recommends in the whole of London. One's the Ritz, and the other's the Honest Sausage. There we go. Just thought that would get you excited.
When you said humble sausage, I thought you said Humboldt sausage.
Oh, right. Is that a type of sausage?
No, it's a kind of giant squid. And giant squids are right up there with zeppelins. So I got very excited that there might be a Humboldt sausage out there.
Maybe there is.
One day. Maybe there is. Maybe there is.
It could be. Start making your own. Yeah, I didn't find too much else on Paddington, I must be honest. Yeah, Paddington, the movie itself, not quite as bad as my album Thor's, but yeah.
Did you watch it with your kids?
No, they were not interested. I watched it by myself.
Fair enough.
Yeah, your kids were wise. They were wise. No, there we go. That's it. Fourth Reich starting.
There we go.
At least we actually, you probably saved us all, Thors. If we didn't watch this, we wouldn't know. There's so many people out there who just don't know. An entire generation of us.
Well, that's all for this week. The unmarked helicopters and the men in white suits have triangulated our position, and we need to relocate. On our next adventure, we'll explore the American alternate rock group Everclear's 2000 album, Songs from an American Movie Volume 1, Learning How to Smile, alongside the 1998 cult classic, The Big Lebowski. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week.